What's cracking, everybody? So, lately, people have been saying that the volume is very low. So, I went ahead and connected a microphone today. Hopefully, it helps you guys because I think that it's only certain phones that it's low for. So, today's video is going to be about Pelican Bay shoe. Actually, it's Pelican Bay ad save. So, I wanted to tell you guys a story. So, if what's cracking, everybody? New video. Let's make sure we get that out of the way. For whatever reason, a lot of people like when I say that. But anyways, I want to talk about, the Pelican Bay Riot of 2000, February 23rd, 2000. You can look it up on YouTube. You can see a portion of the riot. It's pretty famous. The only reason why it's famous, let's keep it real, there's other riots that have been uglier, that have been more brutal. But the thing about Pelican Bay is every inch of that yard, whether it's A facility or B facility, before yard is released, every inch of that yard is on camera. And I may do a video about something about that too. But that's the only difference, man. People have this fascination about Pelican Bay, but Pelican Bay is no different. The main lines are no different than any other level 4 180. Shit gets cracking there. There's killers there. From every car. So let's make sure that we acknowledge that, whatever that's worth acknowledging. Because no disrespect, but something that I learned a long time ago is to be a somebody in prison is to be a nobody in life. And I don't mean that as disrespect, but in the grand scheme of life, being somebody in jail doesn't contribute to life itself. Now, something that only those that were there know about. I'm giving you guys exclusive here. So the day of the riot, when the riot happened, those of you that don't remember it, it actually became breaking world news. It was all over the Today Show, Good Morning America. They broke in and they had it, because of the stigma of Pelican Bay. Housing the worst of the worst in California and pretty much the worst of the worst in the United States, if you think about it. And here's something you guys don't know. So, I've said before that there was a war between the whites and the blacks that started on August 31st of 1999. And, it was ugly, man. They went at it. And when the whites finally said, okay, we're done, that's when Raza from Southern California and the blacks got into their war, right? So in that say, the day that it kicked off, there was already a lot of whites and a lot of blacks sitting in the hole, right? And I'm going to say this person's name because he's irrelevant. Okay. So the day that it happened, immediately when it came on the news, the media reported how many people were shot and that there was also one fatality. When they announced it on the news, there was a white guy back in that state by the name of Chimp. He didn't know who got killed. He assumed that it was a brother that got killed, right? Instead of a Southerner. And he yelled, "That's right, fuck that motherfucker. I'm glad he's dead. That dead son of a bitch, this and that." Okay? And Raza had already came to the back from the incident, right? And so when they heard that, they were pissed because, as you guys know, it was actually a Southerner that died, that was killed by the cops. So immediately, people were feeling a certain kind of way, right? So Huilas started flying amongst the raza from Southern California. Hey, what's up with this fucking dude running his mouth? Fuck this dude, man. Right? So prison being what it is, you have to go a certain route, right? So Huilas were sent where they needed to go as far as the white men. You know, hey man, you know, that was one of ours that died. And this dude was yelling out the door, you know, celebrating the death of ours. Maybe he thought it was somebody else, but it wasn't, eh? So we're not feeling that, right? So the whites went out to yard, and, you know, Chimp went out to his yard group, and they had their discussion. They had their little junta, their little meeting, whatever. And they basically said, like, hey, we confronted him about it, and he said that he didn't know, that he thought it was one of the brothers, right, one of the blacks, and that's why he was woofing that shit. And the homies were like, yeah, well, it wasn't, you know. So at the least, he needs to go to every cell and apologize. When they release showers, he needs to go to every cell and apologize for what he said and what he did, because everybody heard him, eh? And the white said that's not going to happen. He's not going to do that. So the raza was like, cool. You know, it's all good then. Don't worry about it. And so, amongst the raza, it was all of these whites, since they're okay with him and they're not going to discipline him, if any of these doors crack, we're going to discipline every one of them. And the crazy thing is one of the whites had I don't know if he had a hacksaw blade, but he had something that was able to chop up bunks very easy, right? And so he had extended his hand like, hey, you know, and because of the fact that they were at war, and the raza was at war with the blacks, it was, if any door racks, and it's like that anyways, you know, it's always like that regardless of war or not. Once you're back there and that's sake, it's gonna happen like that. Your rivals, you book them or they book you. But this dude extended himself like, hey, if any of you guys need any righteous steel, I got it for you. All the raza was like, let me get one of those. And I can tell you that the raza weren't even thinking about getting any of the brothers with any of that steel. Everybody was thinking about getting a white dude with that steel, having him cut the steel that we were going to book him with because of the disrespect that was shown. By the time I got back there about 3 months after the riot happened, right? And it wasn't with all the whites at that point. It was any of the whites that were still there from when the incident occurred. If you get on the tier with them, whack them. And it was a running joke. Hey, everybody wanted to hit them with their own metal. I tell this story because this is just another example for those that like to, you know, speak on the propaganda, that have zero understanding of how prison works. Prison is based off of respect. Anybody disrespects, no matter who they are or what they represent, whether they're a cop or a convict, once the line is crossed and a group feels disrespected, no matter what the group is, they're gonna handle their business. This story just happens to be one idiot, man. And they wound up whacking him later, but on their politics, right? But it was just crazy. And luckily, no doors ever popped. At least not between the whites and the Southerners that were at odds over that incident. Other doors popped between Southerners and brothers. whites and brothers, and that's just the cops playing their game. And that's another thing that people don't understand. Cops were playing the game the way they wanted. It's a dirty game, you know. Somebody can take a shower and the cop comes and says, hey, your shower's over. And they're in that second, they're like, nah, it's over when I say I'm gonna go ahead and kick it in here a little while. And you know what happens? The cops pop doors. That's real puppetry. You know, we had a discussion on YouTube before about people being puppets. And if we're being honest, man, the cops were the puppeteers. We were the marionettes. They had us doing what they wanted. I'm going to pop this door and watch these Southerners run up in there. I'm going to pop this door and watch these blacks run up in there. I'm going to pop this door and watch these whites run up in there. And there we went. Why? Because we had to. Because in that world, that's what's expected and that's what's going to happen. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoy this story. It's just another look at the savagery, the brutality of prison. Hopefully it's another story where somebody says, you know what, thank you for the story, but I don't want to be there. Because you don't. I don't, and you don't. So with that, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, right? I'm out.